Welcome back. Welcome back. As always, it is great to see you. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're going to be looking at a tier list. So this tier list is going to be from Diamond to One Above All. So if you're in there, this tier list is going to be great for you. If you are Bronze to Diamond and you're just looking to get to that Diamond, I already have that tier list out for you. Check it out. Link in the description below. As always, my tier lists come with rules to make sure that we're on the same page. Rule number one, this is a solo tier list. This means that you are not pre-made as 5, not pre-made as 6. You're not communicating like crazy. This is just if you're playing by yourself or maybe you're dueling with someone. But for the most part, some characters just do better in pre-mades than others. The second rule is we're focusing on the impact of these characters during their match as a solo player and as a solo character, not the impact of a pre-made. Again, this is a solo queue tier list for people that are not in a pre-made of 4, 5, or 6 communicating like crazy. First up on our list is Adam Warlock. And because this is a higher ranked tier list, we actually don't need to spend a lot of time on these characters because, you know, you already know a lot. So for the Adam Warlock, in my opinion, I don't think he's that great. And one of the reasons being is that the meta is kind of shifting towards like a lot of these engagers or like wipe preventers like Invisible Woman or Luna Snow, you know, Mantis and and stuff like that. So it kind of leaves Adam Warlock in the dust. In my opinion, this character works well with certain characters, but like if you just put this guy on any team, he's not going to function that well, and you might want a better character, especially because a lot of how he works is with timing. So in my opinion, Adam Warlock is kind of meh. You know, if you play him, play whatever you want to play. I'm always an advocate for that. It doesn't matter what you play. But at the moment, in my opinion, he's kind of meh. I wouldn't say he's like super weak, because his kit is strong, but it's just not useful in a lot of situations, and it's not as flexible as a lot of the other healers in the game. Next character that we have is Black Panther. So Black Panther is pretty disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. For the most part, he did get a nerf which reduced his survivability, but he's still really strong. And in order to play him at a really high level, it is difficult, right? Because it's not the same as like playing in low ranks. You are going to main this character, but I think if you main this character, and I mean have a solid understanding of how this character works and how you need to play, this character is absolutely busted if mained. Like absolutely busted if mained, but you do have to main him and be really good at the character. Next character that we have is Black Widow. So Black Widow right now is in a tough spot, mainly because it's very hard to hit any shots in this game. All these characters have different model sizes, and not only that, when they reload, they have different model sizes and different model shapes. Some of these characters' heads are bigger than others, some bodies are bigger than their heads, some characters are way too fast, they jump off. There's a lot wrong with the game, and the thing is, Widow needs to consistently land shots. And if you're playing at a high rank, people's reaction times are a lot quicker. So yeah, you might get a lucky headshot or something like that, but they're going to heal instantly or dip into cover, which means you can't land another shot. So most of the time you're going to have to wait until the team fight starts to start popping off your shots. But now you're relying on the consistency of you as a player. How often are you going to be landing the most crucial shots during a team fight? If you whiff all your shots in a team fight, you basically weren't there. This is a very hard like ball to juggle, because you may not win games just because of a fluke of you not being on fire that day, or maybe you're not feeling it. So right now, I think Black Widow's kind of meh. I don't really know what they're gonna do with a sniper to make sure that she's not OP, but right now it's just very hard to do anything with her consistently. So that's where I think she belongs. Next character that we have is Captain America. So I really like Captain America. He's one of my main characters. Maybe you've seen me in some of your games, but I really love Captain America. Now, the reason why I play him is because he fits my style of character that I like to play in other games. However, the kit that he has, it's very flexible and I like it. It's good. But even if you main the character, he's not like stronger than the other Vanguards. You know what I mean? Like if you main Captain America, I'm still not better than an average high rank Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? Like, I have to do a lot more. I have to put a lot more effort in to be useful, especially because people in high ranks generally can aim. They can aim, they can group, they can cooperate way better, even if they aren't on mics. The coordination is a lot better. And this character pretty much kind of thrives in the chaos. If there's no chaos, it's really hard to play this character or get a lot of use out of him. That being said, it's not like he sucks. But I mean, there's better choices, and I'm not going to stop playing him. I love him. I don't care what y'all say. but I just know that I have to put a lot of effort in to make him work. And I think the reason being is because he's very flexible, right? He's not excellent at anything, but he's pretty decent at everything. And if a character becomes his kit's just too good to just make good, you know what I mean? He has to kind of suffer. So even if you main this character, he's not busted, and he's definitely not a strong choice. I don't really want to put him in kind of meh, because he is better than meh. But at the end of the day, like, unless you are a diehard Captain America player like me, there's really no reason to play that character. Next character that we have is Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is exceptionally strong, especially in high ranks, because players know how to duel, right? You know how to duel, you know when to heal, how to use your cooldowns, when's the best time to use cooldowns. You know, sometimes you may stack your ult on someone else's ult, but for the most part, that doesn't happen. You generally have a better grasp of like how to play the game. And this character's kit is really good. It does a lot for you. It has the damage, it has the heals. I think this character is without a doubt just a really, really busted character. Even if you don't have a lot of hours into this character, she will perform really well for you. You're not just gonna first time Cloak and Dagger at high rank and work. I don't think you can first time any character at a high rank and work. Maybe Rocket. Rocket, to be fair, is just that type of character. But for the most part, it's just not happening. And yeah, you do need to put a couple of games into her. But once you get an understanding, she's really strong, and she has that ultimate that's just, it got buffed. It's great. Very strong character. Next up, we have Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, I mean, he received a nerf recently, but a little buff to survivability. But he's not really anything crazy. If you main him, you are pretty good. It's hard. The thing is, yeah, forget that, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Doctor Strange, if you main Doctor Strange, and I mean you are diehard Doctor Strange main, and this character gets through, you most likely will just dominate a game. He's that strong. But the thing is, like, even if you aren't a one trick, the character is still a strong choice. I'm gonna put him at busted if mained. And even if you don't main, he's a strong choice. But a lot of players who play at high ranks usually main their characters. So I think it's kind of dumb for me to put him at strong choice, considering he's not a character that is just fill picked that often. Most people that play tanks in high rank generally like main the role. It's very, I don't see a filled tank that often unless it's an off one. Next character that we have is Groot. Groot's really strong, actually. That's rough. Yeah, like, I mean, dude, if I'm not even gonna spend time on this character. Like, if you understand how to play Groot, this character is beyond strong. Like, he's really strong. I don't know what they're gonna do to him. It's the wall situation. Like, a Groot that understands how to use walls, when to use walls, and how to actually play the character, it's a very, very hard character to deal with. Next character that we have is Hawkeye. The nerfs hurt him, don't get me wrong, but the Hawkeye players probably don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you maybe have to get a little bit closer. They don't really do much, right? And I think they buffed something else. I think they buffed his explosive arrows. I don't remember all the details, but I do know that they made his longer range. They made him how to get closer, basically. That being said, I think this character is still really, really strong. And I think it's busted if he's mained. Without a doubt, Hawkeye is nasty if he's mained. Next character we have is Hela. Not going to spend too much time on her. We understand that she also was nerfed along with Hawkeye to reduce the damage from a long distance. It's just to be a little bit closer, but her kit still remains the same. Her ultimate still remains the same. As a high rank player, you understand how to use that ultimate properly and understand the windows of times to use it. Very strong character. Maybe if you don't main her, but for the most part, busted if mained. I mean, again, just another character that's really strong if she's mained. And I mean like a lot of hours. Now, when I say busted, I'm not saying that these characters don't take no skill. That's not what I'm saying. It takes skill, obviously. You need to main them. But once you do main them, they're really strong, is what I'm trying to say. The next character we have is the Hulk. I don't really want to say that he's busted if mained. The character is easy. Pretty much anything that dives in a high rank environment is reacted to. You rarely have a character that will dive in a high rank and just get away with just walking around and punching people. You will be instantly shot and you will be probably one banged. So it's not as strong as he would be in lower ranks, because as you get higher, it's easier to deal with the character. He's still a problem. Don't get me wrong, he's still a problem. He's still a nuisance, but he's easier to deal with when you have a lot of players that kind of understand and are on the same page. The main issue with the Hulk right now really is the fact that he has the power up, the team up ability with Iron Man and with Doctor Strange. So that's what I think. But I think he deserves to be in a strong choice. Even if you main this character, it's not like he's anything crazy or nuts. He's still pretty much the same as someone who doesn't main him, because there's not a lot of versatility to this character. I hop in, and then once I'm in, I punch stuff, maybe shield, and then I hop out. Like, you don't really need to be a main to do that. And even if you are a main, you don't do it better, so to speak. It's still the same movement. Doctor Strange, you could tell a main between that's someone that's not. He can do a lot more, you know what I mean? Next character that we have is Invisible Woman. Crazy kid. The kid is very good. I mean, she has a way to like get people out of angles by throwing the little bomb. She has a great way of like sucking them in. She has a great way of like pushing them away, pulling them in. Really just, she has a great way of repositioning people that do not want to be repositioned. You know what I mean? And that's a really solid ability for a character like this. At the end of the day though, even if you are a main on this character, I don't really consider her busted at all. In my opinion, I just think she's a really strong character. She was balanced really well. The reason why she's balanced, in my opinion, is because she lacks damage. She can still kill people, don't get me wrong, but it's just not as much damage as Cloak and Dagger. Like, she lacks that damage, which is really, really good. And that's what keeps her in check, in my opinion. But I think she's a great, strong choice. Next character we have is Iron Fist. Boy, do I hate this character. I hate this character so much. Okay, so this character, if you don't understand what you're doing and you just whip him out in high ranks, bro, you're gonna get clapped, like, easily. He's along the same lines of Black Panther. It's like, dude, you don't just whip this character out and have no clue what you're doing. You will get clapped. The best you can do with characters like these is like you have to main them, otherwise they don't function. Iron Fist, I've seen some really good Iron Fist mains. Maybe you're one of them. I don't know, but I've seen some really good Iron Fist mains. But at the end of the day, if you don't main this character, he sucks. So I'm gonna put him at busted if mained. You know, right next to Black Panther. Yes, they're quote unquote strong, but only strong if the person piloting the character knows what they're doing. That's pretty much how it works. Next character that we have is Iron Man. Iron Man, this one's kind of rough, because even if you are a good Iron Man, if the enemy team knows how to aim, you are screwed. You don't really have a way to outmaneuver that unless you know how to hide behind things. And even then, it's still kind of rough. The real way that Iron Man wins is if Iron Man has the gamma thing with the Hulk. Because most of the time, he can do enough damage before he's shot out the sky. So, like, what he would typically do is go behind a wall or something. Whatever. Transform, come out, and just laser people. But if he doesn't have the gamma laser, it's not that strong and it's reactable. And he most likely can get shot out the sky before he finishes. So if you don't main this character, he's not going to do you justice. And even if you do main this character, he's not actually busted. What I'll say is, if you main this character, he's in a strong choice. Okay? If you main him, put him in strong choice. If you do not main this character and you expect to whip him out, it's not happening. He's kind of meh. He's right there along with Captain America. It's like, it's not really worth learning unless you just genuinely love Iron Man or you have a Hulk on your team. You know, like if you're that player, like, I play Iron Man, but only if I have a Hulk. Well, then there you go. But he's just generally not good enough to play by himself if you don't really fancy this character. Next character that we have is Jeff. I mean, even if you main this character, like, the only thing you're doing with Jeff is just waiting for those cheeky ultimates, right? But people in high rank generally play things that move a lot and just know how to avoid you instantly as soon as you pop it. So for the most part, character's kind of meh. He's like in front of Black Widow, but he's kind of meh. It's like you don't really, unless you really love him, you're not gonna play him. Next character that we have is Loki. Loki is crazy. I love Loki though. Loki is one of those characters where it's like, he makes you think the entire game, and I love like overthinking. Obviously it's not a good thing, but I love overthinking. So like having a character like Loki that makes me overthink the whole game is great. Not that strong, honestly, if you don't know what you're doing, But if you main the character, he's busted. He's busted. If you main Loki, he's nasty. He's very nasty. Next character that we have is Luna Snow. With Luna Snow, I'm gonna just say Luna Snow is just a strong choice. You're gonna have to learn how to aim, but you know, you should know how to aim by now. You're in, you're getting ready to be in one of above all, right? You're getting ready to be top dog. So you should know how to aim. She's a strong choice. She can carry if you're a god, but like most of the time, an average player is not gonna be a god. You're a good player, but you're not a god, you know what I mean? So she's just a strong choice. You know, you'll win your games. Next character that we have is Magik. Not gonna spend too much time on it. Basically in the same boat as Iron Fist and Black Panther and all the other ones up there. Is if you main the character, they're busted. Pretty much, that's pretty much how it works. If you have no clue what you're doing on Magik, you're gonna get roasted. That's just how it works. Like that literally is for all of these characters. Now, maybe not Hawkeye, but like these four characters, Black Panther, Iron Fist, Magik, Loki. You try to play these and have no clue what you're doing in a high rank, you're gonna get roasted easily. Next character that we have is Magneto. By the time you get to this rank, you really understand how to tank. Very solid choice. Very, very great choice. Next character that we have is Mantis. Just a strong choice. I was gonna say something else, but like that's not really true. It's just a strong choice. Mantis is fine. She's as long as you can aim, as long as you can keep your heals up, she's fine. Next character up is Mr. Fantastic. Without a doubt, busted if mained. Bro, this character is nasty. If you main Mr. Fantastic, bro, hats off to you. Character is disgusting. It just takes a lot of time to get used to. Next character that we have is Moon Knight. Without a doubt, busted. Nothing even to say about it. Don't know why they buffed him. Oh, I do know why they buffed him, but like, they buffed him just for more playtime. But obviously, it's unnecessary. Character's super strong. Nothing else to say about him. Just a strong character. Next, we have Namor. I don't really think this character's busted, but if he's with Luna, he is. Like, without a doubt, this character's nasty with Luna. But if we're just kind of like subtracting their team up abilities away, because that's what we're focusing on, right? The impact of the character alone. Namor is kind of like whatever. I think he's just a strong choice. You know, if you need him, you need him. If you don't, you don't. If you are a one-trick Namor, cool. But for the most part, he's kind of like, you know, it is what it is. Next up, we have Peni. So Peni in high rank is pretty atrocious. Unless you main Peni, like I play Peni in high rank, but I main the character, and even then, it's kind of rough. You have to get really, really, really creative. Generally, that's my game plan all the time when I play games, though. I'm very like outside of the box thinker. But you're not me, right? You're probably someone who that's not as crazy as I am, right? So you stick more towards like the makes sense path. And when you're on that path, this character doesn't really perform that well because everybody else is on that path, right? This is why you have to be creative. This is why you have to kind of play out your mind to really make this character work. On top of that, when she ults, everybody has great aim. They'll just kill you while she's running. Like she's very easy to hit. Lower ranks generally can't aim that well, so they'll miss. But like everybody in the high rank can aim, and as soon as you ult, if you do it at the wrong time, you will be one shot, and you won't even be able to finish your ult. You'll die. So, in my opinion, she's kind of meh. But this is solely because the enemy team is just good at destroying your nest. Now, I will say it's nice to have a 3-second stun on cooldown, but you know, you might as well just pick something else. It's more impactful. Next character that we have is Psylocke. So Psylocke is one of those characters where you're not going to make it function if you don't play her. Like usually when you see Psylocks in high ranks, the one tricks, they're lords, because that's all they play for the most part. And so I think Psylocke is definitely on the busted if mained category. If you don't main it, it's not that strong. That being said though, like Doctor Strange can be played even if you don't. I'm going to move Doctor Strange down because if you don't know what to do, he's a strong choice. And if you main him, then he becomes busted. But he shouldn't be up there, right? But he is busted if he's mained. That's rough. The rest of these people, if you have no clue what you're doing, you're gonna feed. You're gonna do horrible. But Strange shouldn't be there because if you don't know what you're doing with Strange, he's still strong. You know? I mean, I guess Hela and Hawkeye are low-key strong too. If you don't know what you're doing with them, you're gonna get roasted. Never mind. Yeah, but okay, I'll move Doctor Strange down. I still think he's busted if you main the character, don't get me wrong. But just for the sake of understanding, we're gonna put him at strong choice. Next character that we have is Rocket. Rocket individually isn't strong. Okay, this one's gonna be weird. Rocket himself is actually kind of weak, especially as high ranks. What makes Rocket strong is the ability to buff Winter Soldier and the Punisher, but also the ability to bring back people after they die. If you have a DPS that is cracked out of their mind, or a tank that is cracked, or even a healer, whatever, they go in, nuke, and then get back to life, you're still at an advantage. That's invaluable. Or maybe your team messes up and they get pushed on, and then you spawn back and you stall the push. Like, the thing is, Rocket is not actually that great, but what he does for the team is so invaluable. He's busted. Like, he's busted because of the simplicity that the character takes. You know what I mean? Now, if the team doesn't use what he's offering, that well, this is then when it becomes a you're gonna lose type of situation. But if your team understands how to use everything, this character provides a lot. So I'm gonna put him at busted. But if there was like okay, let's just say my team has no clue what they're doing, he's kind of meh. Like, you might as well play a different character. But as I said before, the fact that he provides so much more for his team, he's not a selfish character. He's a selfless character. The character is extremely strong at what he provides. Next character that we have is Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch, she just received a buff. I've been seeing a lot more Scarlet Witch players lately. I think she's good, but you have to main her to even function. But even if you main her, she still might not do more than the other characters. As an example, let's just say I mained Magik. Me being a Magik main gives me more opportunity than me being a Scarlet Witch main. Scarlet is still gonna have to do more, put in more effort to even match a Magik, whereas Magik mains can do less and still be more potent than a Scarlet Witch. That being said, I've seen some really good Scarlet Witch players. She's not useless and she's not worthless. You just have to be good at her. Like, you might think, oh, well, when she ults, you can see it and you can shoot out the sky. That is true, but if you're a good Scarlet Witch player, you know exactly what to do. You know what I mean? So, like, a lot of the hindrances that it might appear on paper, mains know what to do. That's the thing about being a main for that character. So I'm gonna put her up here with busted if mained. I don't generally think she's busted though, but just for the simplicity of understanding, if you main this character, she gives you more than what you would get if you don't main her. So if you do main her, I think she's incredibly strong. If you don't main her, you know, she's gonna suck, just like the rest of this cast up here. Next character is SpiderMan. I'll put away my bias. I actually really like SpiderMan's design. I think he's really good. His kit's just game breaking, but like, if you don't know how to play SpiderMan, you're gonna get cooked, period. So, like, you have to main him. There is no in between. There's no, oh, let me give him a try. No, you need to main Spider-Man or you don't play Spider-Man. That being said, he's right there along with all the other ones. The character is incredibly strong. Should I sort these? Maybe I'll sort them at the end. But I think Spider-Man is busted if he's mained, period. Like, the character is just ridiculous. Next character is Starlord. He's kind of right there with Wanda. You know, we're going to put these guys in the back. He's right there with Wanda in the back, where it's like, if you main him, he's very strong, but he's not like busted, but he's strong. He's strong, man. But he's not like on the level of like Spider-Man busted. You know what I mean? Like, you go against a Spider-Man main, bro, it's about to be a hard one. But a Starlord main, strong, but just not that strong. Now you guys might be thinking Spider-Man mains, like, Spider-Man needs a buff. No, you BSing me right now. Character's nasty. Like I said, I'll sort these, I think, at the end, though. Next character is Storm. Storm, I'm sorry, after her buff and whatnot, she gets her ultimate really quickly. She has a lot of space. She's able to hit from very far away. She buffs her team. She pretty much does what Rocket does, but she's actually a good character solely as well. So I'm going to put her at busted. She's actually really, really strong of a character, and I think she's going to get nerfed. I think they buffed her just to make her feel better, but like, they overtuned. So I think she might get it nerfed later. Next up, we have Squirrel Girl. She received a buff to her ultimate, but maybe some other stuff too. I don't really remember, but I know her ultimate specifically, but it still functions kind of the same, where it needs to be used in a closed area. In my opinion, I think she's kind of meh. Like, you're not whipping Squirrel Girl out and just dominating. You're just kind of being a support at that point. If you main Squirrel Girl, then she goes up in tier. That's why I'm going to put her in the front. Just like Strange. If you main Strange, he moves up a tier as well. But baseline Squirrel Girl, it doesn't really offer much to just really put her anywhere unless you just actually main the character. You're not whipping her out and doing anything with it. She's just not that great. Next character is the Punisher. Strong choice. Nothing really to say. I mean, you guys all can aim, right? We're all high rank, so you play him, you can aim. He's a decent choice. Next character that we have is Thor. When you're this high, you can't just mindlessly play Thor. In lower ranks, you can mindlessly play Thor, and you'll see it a lot where they just like slam around and it works out for them. But as you get to like this rank, you really need to time your engages. You need to time when you fight, how long you fight, when you need to leave, when you need to go in. There's a lot more time specific things needed to play this character. So in my opinion, he's just kind of busted if mained. And when I say busted, I'm going to add an extra tier at the end. That's what I'm going to do. I'll add an extra tier at the end. Next, we have Venom. Venom, I always thought Venom was strong. He actually just got a buff, which makes him better. Once again, you have to main this character. You're not whipping him out. It's not happening. You need to play Venom to play Venom. Otherwise, this character sucks, period. So we're going to put him right there next to Thor. We are going to make another tier, so don't worry. I'm just going to finish this list first. Next up, we have Winter Soldier. Not going to talk too much about him. It's obvious you need to be a good Winter Soldier player. Busted if mained. Next, we have Wolverine. Once again, this character actually is low-key just busted if you main him. He's kind of like along the lines of like SpiderMan. He's nasty. But what we're going to do is we're going to make another tier list. So we're going to make strong if mained. Because busted, I feel like is a bit overkill. So we're going to make it strong if mained, and we're going to put it, we'll just make it green. Like actually highlight green, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to put some of the characters that would belong in busted if mained. Wait, what? What is happening here? We're going to adjust. Here we go. Okay, one more. There we go. There we go. All right, so we're going to move some of these busted if mained characters down. So busted if mained, Black Panther stays, Iron Fist stays, Magik stays, SpiderMan stays, Wolverine stays, Fantastic stays. Psylocke is strong if she's mained. She's not actually busted in my opinion. Loki, busted. Groot, that one's hard. Like, he's strong. I don't consider him busted like you just have a really hard time winning. I think he's just strong if he's mained. I think he's a little overtuned, but I think a little nudge would help him out. Scarlet is strong if mained. Starlord strong if mained. Hawkeye strong if mained. Hela strong if mained. Thor strong if mained. Venom strong if mained. And then Winter Soldier, I think he's like actually busted. Like, Winter Soldier is strong if you main him, but like the dude has possibilities to just dog an entire team. So this is the tier list here. The top of characters busted are going to be characters like if you just pick them, you most likely will win your games. It doesn't really take that much effort to do so. Busted if mained are characters that if you main them, you will be dominating more matches, and you will be a very hard to deal with player if you main these characters. Strong if mained are characters that are generally strong after you learn how to play them. They're not on the level of like crazy difficult to deal with, but they are a problem for the enemy team should you main that character, and it will give you a nudge in the right direction as mained. Strong choice characters are like, oh, I'm filled, or I don't play this role, or whatever. These are some great strong choices for you. If you really don't know what you're doing, I'm actually going to put Magneto up here too. Strong if mained. Because I think Magneto, he does require you to understand. You can't just like press buttons with this character. So he's strong if mained. But yeah, the strong choices are going to be like what you should just pick if you don't really know what you're doing. And then kind of meh. These are characters where it's like, if you main them, they turn into a strong choice more or less. But at the most part, they're not really that useful. Now, what I'm going to say is that play whatever you want to play. If you like Black Widow and people think that she's bad, play Black Widow. Do you. But I'm just saying these characters require a little bit more work to function. And if you're not ready for that, if that's not what you want to do, I just would steer clear of them. Iron Man is one of those characters though, where if the Hulk is picked, you can pick him and he's pretty disgusting. But aside from that, like playing him by himself, like unless you really like Iron Man, it's just not worth it. And the rest of these characters, again, you know, I'll put Adam Warlock in the front only because if you have the right team comp, he's actually really good. But he doesn't fit in everything, which is why I don't think he should be picked that often unless you like really main the character or whatnot. But anyway, that's a tier list. Hope you enjoyed. As I said, if you main them all, if you main your character, don't worry about a tier list, obviously. Do you. You're a good player. You rock. You're awesome. But if you really are kind of picking and choosing about what you want to pick or main and stuff like that, I hope this list helps you out. This is my personal list. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, if you want to see bronze to diamonds tier list, it is already out on the channel. Link in the description below. And until next time, you know what I always say. Think you guys are doing what? Popping often. Real often.